I messed my mic's arm up here. Hang on. There we go. There we go. Back. It's Friday. What's up? I guess I can put these on my whole stupid head. There we go. Hey, how's my audio? Let's get the chat up on stage. LFG, right? Let's go. Happy Friday, May 15th. Tomorrow marks 2 months. My first 2 months at JetBrains. We made it. I'm still here. I'm shocked. I'm sure most people are. Ugh. My teeth. I brushed my teeth. It's got to be the light. It's just reflecting on it or something. Hello for anybody that's new here. I'm Jason, developer advocate over at JetBrains, specifically for the JavaScript, TypeScript ecosystem, WebStorm specifically. It's good to be here. It's Friday. Finishing up the last little bits of the week and wanted to do a retro on my first 60 days here. It's been really, really awesome experience. So wanted to share that. And then I wanted to get into some stuff that's kind of come up over the last week that I've been thinking about, reflecting on, and trying to process. Hang on one sec. I got to send the link here to my guest. I feel like, considering who will be joining us here in a moment, he's the perfect person to be talking about content and branding. But I'll let him introduce himself when he gets here. That's something that's come up for me, is trying to figure out like what my voice is in the JavaScript, TypeScript ecosystem, or just as a developer advocate, trying to understand my style. And yeah, I don't understand how to do that. So I'm here to talk about it and see if anybody wants to chime in and ask questions too, because they're probably questions that I've also thought about. So anyway, my guest is here. I'm excited to see him. I'm excited to see him in a couple weeks as well. Let's bring our buddy up here. There he is.
Ciao. Hi everyone.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I speak in English, no worries.
Yeah. It would have been great if you just like were just going full on Italian.
Potrei. I could.
Yes, you could. I'm sure most people that are watching know who you are, but why don't you introduce yourself there, Fran?
Yeah, sure. So I'm Francesco, head of developer relations at Zerops. We have been having a very busy days this week. Apart from that, I like Rust, Twitter, and YouTube. I noticed, Jason, that the longer my career, the shorter my headline. I remember me starting in tech, I had a CV of like 5 pages of things that I could do.
Yeah.
The longer I go, the shorter. That's it. I think
that's actually a really great thing that you're bringing up, because right before you had come in, something that I've been sort of thinking about this week is just like kind of branding, like for myself, like personal branding, and like kind of figuring out how that fits into the content that I'm creating. Thank you, Rashab. I took Rashab's feedback on getting my accent lights turned on there. I see Ron's here. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. But I feel like you saying that and saying you had like a 5-page CV of all these titles or things that you were kind of creating content around or that were part of your brand, and now you've sort of refined that. How did that kind of talk me through that a little bit, like understanding maybe what things to keep and what things to not keep? Like, what's that process like?
Yeah, for sure. And for sure, my first CV, it was not about content. It was just about coding and software development. So it has zero to do with content. First of all, I think you can have multiple CVs, also depending on the career that you want to have, or even the company that you want to apply. It depends how serious you want, to apply to to things. It depends. Some people even suggest, to make multiple CVs for multiple companies. Of course, this should not become a job.
Yeah.
But for example, let's say that they have, a possibility to get hired as, as a developer advocate for cloud for Google. I will make probably a CV dedicated to that position just to say they understand. Especially, I think in case like you, Jason, or me, we do many things. I want them to know specific things of my life and specific activities that I did. I try to highlight things. People who do a lot of stuff, they have this issue that they do multiple things, and you want to highlight. I don't want to send a super long CV. We have been hiring at Zeropes. We also an announcement on Monday. We have a big announcement on Monday.
Oh.
And because we hired a new developer advocate. So spoiler, just for the people in Jason live stream.
Nice.
And I reviewed 400 applications, and the shorter the application, the better, because I had to know. I didn't use AI to check them. I checked them with my human eyes. And for me, of course, having a shorter, it was a good sign, because shorter, it means not shorter like here is my CV, because I wanted also that, but shorter, I mean like on point, with just 3-4 things that they did, and also things that were relevant to the job. We got many applications as a software engineer, but we are hiring developer advocates. It's a different career, so that's the thing. Yeah, about me, because I think at the beginning I was very, I'm still excited about JavaScript and stuff, but I was at the beginning, so everything I was doing, MySQL application. I put MySQL in my CV because say like, okay, now I know how to create it, but this doesn't mean that
Sure.
a SQL database very well. Probably you know this now very well, but yeah, I can say SQL databases. That's it, because that's about the concept. So yeah, that's the thing, Jason. I think that it's important to put the things we want to get highlighted. And yes, I don't know if I ever told you this, but I think it was June 2021 when it was at the beginning. One of the first times that I got invited, it was Hashnode back then, an event by Hashnode.
Oh, really?
And they put me in something like this, like Francesco and personal branding. I had to Google like what personal branding does mean, because they put me, because I didn't know that I was doing the thing like I did in 2020. I didn't know I was joining Tech Twitter. I decided to follow developers. So for me, the name branding, it's a bit strange, but it is, because it's basically what we want to show people online. And it doesn't mean that we are fake. It's just that we want to show something rather than something else. And that's it. I don't want to show you that I've been cutting a tree 2 days ago. Are you interested to that? Maybe. But is it interesting for my personal branding? I don't know. If I can make a nice Rust joke, probably. Maybe
I mean, I'm sure there's an audience for it.
I didn't got a joke about Git branch because I was too tired. But that's the thing. Now, of course, by telling that, I ruined my personal branding. No, I think, but I think it's important to understand how we want to use a social media, especially for people who are not being on social media their whole life. It's not my case. We need to understand a direction, especially for chaotic people, for example, like me. I don't have that people tell me that I'm consistent. I'm persistent in what I want to do, but for example, years ago I was sharing something about Docker or JavaScript, even JavaScript, some stuff. Now I found, let's say, this branding into Rust and conferences, because this is what I do the most. Video creation, of course, but I think it's important to have to be recognized. When I think, I want to do this, this might be my guy. I want to make an open conversation about getting hired, or for example, developer advocates. For example, I can invite you, other people. It's nice to get get remembered for something. Yeah.
No, that's interesting, and just sort of covering all that. And I mean, you've touched on so many things already, but how did you decide what you wanted to create content around in this journey? Or maybe you created content around everything and just were like, well, this didn't work, this did.
I got you. So I love this question, and I have an answer. I have an answer ready. So
Yeah.
if don't
Good.
leave now, because this is you try me with the different hard question. So for me, the solution is simple and hard at the same time.
Mm.
And the simple answer is time. The more time I dedicate to something, the more you will see this on social media. And that's it. When I spend more time at a conference, you will see some posts at a conference. When I spend a whole week trying to understand something about Rust, you will get some Rust stuff. So the things I create are an extension of how much I dedicated time to something. So this is usually how I did so far, and it worked. It works so well for me. Back then, I was sharing Docker stuff because I was doing more things related to understanding Docker in details. So this strategy, it's not a strategy, it's just an extension of what I do. First, doesn't make me feel like creating content is a job, because it's just an extension of what I do. And is the most sustainable one, because if I've been spending the last 2-3 days understanding a new JavaScript framework, probably have something to say about that. And I don't feel like, oh, but now I have to put posts about Docker because otherwise people will get mad. No, my approach is that I start with what I do, and then based on that, I create content. And probably this is why after 5 years, 6 years on social media, I'm still here. And I made more than 140,000 tweets, because it's an extension of what I do. So I lower the effort, but in the long term, it's like slowing the pace, but then you can run for 40 kilometers. That's nice. Have you seen the marathon guy? Crazy.
I don't want to say, yes, I have. That is insane. For reference, for anybody that isn't aware, like it just this year, the half marathon record was shattered and the marathon record.
Yeah, I don't want to run anymore. It's too much. Running is a solved problem. I'll just say this, and then we'll go back a little off topic. The last 2 kilometers, he ran at 2:35 minutes per kilometer. The last, because the first, okay, but the last, the last is crazy. And he said in an interview, he can improve it by 1-2 minutes, and he was not that sweaty at the end.
Yeah, that's super depressing. Like I felt, I'm training for a 50-kilometer race.
Cool.
So I'm going through this whole, like, I do intervals, I do long distance, I do a bunch of different variables or variations. And I was, I've got my 5K to under 20 minutes now. And I thought that was great. And then you see that and you're like,
it is, Jason. It is. No, I'm joking, but
so I mean, you've mentioned consistency, and like creating content around the things you're doing is obviously kind of an easy solution. It's like, well, I'm already doing this, I should just be doing content around it. How do you determine, and again, this kind of goes back full circle to my initial thoughts about this, is how do you then decide what the content should be? Because you've got vlogs, you've got blogs, you've got tutorials, you have like a book. You've done all the content. So how? Yeah, where is it?
I thought you had one. No problem. No, I don't want to say. Otherwise, I should sponsor this live stream. So I'm poor. I just bought a Super Grok, so I'm poor now. Jason, I want to try it out soon.
Nice.
So how? I usually think in the long term. So, I'm glad that some people like me, but I'm here to stay other 20, 30 years. And this is, and now it's easier to say, but I had the same mindset 6 years ago, which was way harder than now, because when you have 100 followers on Twitter and you think that you need to make a long-term plan, now it's easier in a term that now, no. If I have an idea, a project, some people will understand that I'm doing something. Probably back then was the hardest part, and try to put something, I don't know. Or for example, this book, I decided to do this 2 years ago, and that was so hard to decide, because who knows will I in 2 years still like Rust, still like to create content about it? Now it's easy because people see the result. It's also, it was a challenge. I didn't know that it has been, I mean, I had a thought that this could have been good, but it's like, predicting the future, which is not that easy in this world, especially in tech lately.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I've been lucky or not, but I basically decided to do things that they work in the long term. And this is also, for example, why I decided, for example, to start making videos and not just staying on Twitter. And now many people say, the people now give this for granted, but it was not. We had a YouTube channel that was been silent for 10 years. And also for example, I decided to put a lot of effort in in-person events. And this is a decision, it's a thing, because I really believe that meeting people in person has some value. Otherwise, I would, just stay at home doing YouTube videos. I could probably do double, the triple. But I like to put effort in that. We will see in 5 years if this has been worth it. But I can already say it is. Yeah. So that's because I don't know what we are doing now. It's amazing. It's amazing and easy to do, but I like to do things in the long term. And when I have an opportunity, I say, like, does it make sense with what I want to do, with what I want to do in my life, which is probably getting connected with more developers, do something good. Because, Jason, I think you also worked in other places, in another career. I really believe that the developer community is the best one. But I'm not saying this because we have an audience. I really think that the developer community is something different, has a different flavor, different taste. Otherwise, things like GitHub would not exist. A common place where everybody's sharing stuff.
Yeah.
It's mind-blowing. And this is why I like to stay here among developers. I like this.
No, that totally makes sense. And this actually great follow-up question from Ron here, because this was something I was also thinking about, is you share what you're learning. How do you find the right framing if the content has been covered before? That's a great question, because I mean, at this point, honestly, what content really hasn't been established or covered at this point now?
Yeah. So let me read again. You share what you are learning. I share what I'm learning. Yes, I was sharing Rust content in 2022. How do you find the right framing? The right framing, I think, it's giving your personal touch. If you make a video with your own voice, and if you have a funny accent like me, it even works better. So you will make it yours. It's already yours. Even if you don't share your face, it's already yours. You don't need to do the right framing. You are already framing it if you do it. If the content has been covered before, with this mindset, people will stop doing everything. I will have a different approach. Like, hey, I like how this person is doing something. Let me do something similar. Never the same, but let's say similar. I like how Kelsey Hightower speaks the talk. I also try to speak public speaking. I will never be at his level, but you can get inspired, or you can see what you like. I see this always as something positive. Someone already made a Rust tutorial. Nice. I'll make one myself. That's I think a good mindset. Otherwise, Google would not have done a search engine in 1998 when Yahoo was a thing. If you know what I'm talking about, you are probably too old. Yeah.
Oh wow, Yahoo search. Yeah. That's interesting too, because I think comparison is the thief of joy, or something they say. I think so. It's like,
I disagree.
Why do you disagree?
Let's fight so we get more people in the live stream.
I'm in. Let's do it.
So, I come from the sports world, and make analogy about this, and I think that there is something in volleyball. I think maybe not in other sports, but I studied this in volleyball, so I will make examples with my old word. There is something called the performance model. I think, yes, it's something like that. So what does it mean? If there is a good player, we try to understand why this player is good. So instead of judging on how much people train, because we couldn't care less, say, okay, this player is amazing. This player always has a 70% of chance to do a point whenever he or she they touch the ball. Okay, so it's a reverse engineering. Engineering. So I'll say, why this person is so successful? And we try to understand, maybe he has a strange way to do something. Maybe he's doing something in a certain way. Or if you don't know about volleyball, we can make the example of Fosbury, the one who made, the jump
the
other
high
way.
jump. Yep.
The high jumper. So people cannot say, okay, I will never compare myself to Fosbury. I try to do things in my own way, because that honestly doesn't work, and it almost feel dumb. We always, even if we say I don't compare myself to other, that's a good lie, because we always compare ourselves to someone else.
Yeah.
What can really make the difference in our life is how do we get this feedback? Do we get this in a negative way? Do we get this in a positive way? Do we try to just copy? Do we just to try to get inspired, but then understand what we can do with what we have? So I think that we will always compare ourselves to others. We should not feel bad in comparing ourselves to others, and trying to understand, and then not just blindly copy, because it doesn't work, but trying to make it ours, understanding what maybe worked for that person.
Yeah.
The real Roxy is in the chat.
The real Roxy is in the chat. Hey, Roxy. Also, I got a comment in our Slack from Jan Nicholas saying it's weird that I don't look at the camera when we're having a conversation. and I did.
Please, it's Friday afternoon. Let us leave.
Come on,
please.
man. Oh, he said, there you go, Jan Nicholas. Yeah, it's the new camera angle, which actually I'm still debating on whether I like or not. I might come back to above my monitor, so I'm head on again, so I can see you. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But that just goes back into thinking about comparing myself to others, or thinking about how you shoot your content, or Jason Langsdorf or James Quick, all these people that we see. And it is hard. How do you like sometimes push forward and not like get discouraged?
Yes. So, by the way, I think it seems that all the nice people, they have a starting name with J. So I don't know why. I'm excluded from this.
And then there's Fran.
Group of people. Now, I think the golden rule is to always wish that someone else is successful, especially the hard workers. James Quick makes a video with 10 million views. I will be super happy. I will probably, eat a pizza to celebrate him because I need an excuse. But like wishing someone else the success, I'm genuinely happy when someone does something good. I don't know why, but I feel so happy, because for me it means that their hard work got rewarded. I think maybe one of my superpowers is that I'm not envious of anyone in the world. I'm always happy when someone is successful, that they get what they deserve, and if I can take something out of what they did, then I will do this my own way, like Frankie said. So Jets hands, yes.
Jazz
this
hands.
Is not Jets hands. Yeah.
It helps articulate what you're saying. It gives it more personality.
No, it's the opposite. I make gestures and then I speak to support my gesture.
Oh, there you go.
That's the other way around.
I turned towards the camera too, because what I also noticed, I just checked Twitter, and because of the orientation of the camera, I'm actually it looks like I'm facing you the opposite way, because my camera is mirrored. If you look on the Twitter feed, it looks like I'm facing that way. So maybe that's what Jan Nicholas was referring to. I was thinking more along the lines of how do you add more value to the conversation? That's another great question.
Yeah, I can start, and
Yeah.
then so I think that you can add more value to the conversation by bringing something real and something that you did. So not it for her say, but for I think that I feel that I add the most to a conversation when I talk about something that happened to me. It can be either good or bad. I don't know. I did this exact thing, and this was good for me. I got rejected for an internship interview in 2017. It has been the luckiest day of my career. Otherwise, my career would have been different. So you see, it's based on something that happened to Francesco. There is no an AI that can say you this. An AI can give you very generic tips, but it can't say a story about a person. So this is where you really add value.
Yeah, I think the personal anecdotes, like the you in the story is what makes it yours. Yeah. Do you draw inspiration from any like content creators? Like who do you watch and then you're like, oh, I like how they did this?
So the truth, Jason, is that either I watch creators or I do my own stuff. So it's a bit hard. I like to understand their style. I like to understand how they might do something. But honestly, I don't have time to watch either the videos that I would love to. I'm talking about videos mostly because this is mostly what we do. People who are inspired from. Usually, I'm not inspired by anyone specific. There are some. I admire some skills that some person can have. You know, the Theo that does like videos every day, but not about what he says, but like how he does something. But that, for example, I don't do the same. I don't post videos every day, at least not in his style. So I like how someone does something. So that's the thing. Or for example, I don't know how someone delivers a type of talk. For example, I can say, for example, one of my favorites is Gant Laborde. Do you know him?
Oh yeah.
I like, for example, some of his talks. I'm saying like random names that I don't know I have in my that comes up, randomly in my head. So I'm not inspired by a specific person, and I don't necessarily copy what they do. But for example, I don't know, or for example, one of the things that I like is when a talk is funny, when a talk is like really entertaining. For example, I like something like that. So people, I'm inspired by Roxy because she's here, of course. I like how she MCs, and so it's really hard to say some specific names because I think it would be impossible to copy someone else. I like different things. The people I admire the most are the hard workers, and people who really like work, but without complaining. And like complaining is the opposite. Like people who complain a lot is the people I really run as far as I can. At 2 minutes and 35 seconds per kilometer, I run in the opposite direction. So so that's so everything which is the doers. And I think in this AI era, the doers are really rewarded. See, like people who do a lot of stuff, people who do a lot of videos. I am one of them, maybe. So people who do a lot of stuff, they are rewarded because they act. In this AI era, I think that there is no time anymore to overthink or over planning. We should overdo. and that's the only solution that I found in this. So I don't know. I should think about a specific names and stuff, but I get inspired continuously. Also, I go to conferences because of that. Because people who take planes, they go to conferences, they do things. You know what I'm talking about. The energy you see, the energy you feel at Render ATL, the energy you feel at a conference. I don't know. This makes me feel good. When I come back home, I come back home jet lagged, of course, but I feel great because getting in touch with people, even just for a day or two, you get inspired automatically. You just absorb this energy, and then people tell me like, Francesco, how can you have so much energy? Because I run, exercise, but also because once in a while we have Cascadia in a couple of weeks. I'm pumped. I'm absolutely pumped. I will do the shameless plug. I'll do the keynote opening talk on the second day, Jason. So
Yeah,
I'm pumped.
that's pretty awesome. I think that my talk is right after you. I think I'm like right after the break.
I can introduce you.
Oh yeah, there you go. You'll just have to stay on stage for a good 20 minutes or so. I'm looking now because I'm like, I feel like I'm not making that up. Got to find the schedule. Let's see, schedule. All right.
Thank you so much, Ron. You have been very kind. I really needed some positive energy because it has been a very tough week. Today I'm doing 3 live streams talking about overdoing. I did the one at 9 a.m. with Josh, the developer advocate at Spring.
Oh, yeah.
9 a.m. my time and midnight his time is crazy. And then at 7 p.m. in 1 hour, I will go live on my channel, shameless plug. So
nice.
That's
everybody needs to go tune into Fran in a little bit as well.
If you want.
No, they have to. I'm telling them they have to. Yeah, so you're at 9 a.m. and then there is a break, and then I am on at 11. So
okay.
So yeah, we're both
cool.
day tours. Yeah, that's awesome. If I was to just ask you, what's your if you were to have to define it in one sentence, what is Francesco's brand?
A computer scientist who likes making videos. It's my definition on my page. So that's the closest that came up in my mind. It took me like a couple of hours to decide. So no, I'm joking. A couple of some time.
Yeah.
But that's probably the one line, because if I think about what I will still do in 50 years, I didn't even mention Rust. I could stop because this is it's still temporary, even if I've been doing this for 6 years for now. So, but I'm sure that I will still do something like this. Maybe I will talk about a different thing, a new programming language. I will talk about, I don't know, something that is after AI, when AI will become old. And but the format, the things, and how I like to do it. And don't even know if I'll be a public speaker forever. So this is your chance to see Francesco on stage. I don't know if I'll do this forever.
Yeah.
But I'm sure that for a while I can make videos and doing this on a weekly basis. So
since you had mentioned Kelsey earlier, you should use him as inspiration and just refer to all of your conference talks as your last one, and then just keep doing.
So Kelsey Hightower has been one of the people that I was looking up in 2016 when I had zero social media presence. I was just learning Docker. I met him a couple of times. Jason, what it's mind-blowing? The top people are always the humblest.
Oh, yeah.
This is always. I hate this. It's a joke. I hate that. I hate that it's always like that. It's like a repetition.
Yeah.
And yes, so that's probably one of the. And I remember that we had a speaker event at Render before the conference. I think you were there.
Yeah.
You were sitting next to each other.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I think, I don't know, too many. I met you too many times.
Yeah, we know each other too well now. It's all.
And so I remember friends of mine asked him, like, how can we get better on stage? And I will always remember that he said the 2 words. In 2 words, he changed my approach to stage.
Really?
2 words. Stop pretending. So he said just this as an answer, which if you think it's a genius, because when we are on stage, we are usually, especially when we are at the beginning, we are a different person. I was a different person when I stepped the first time on the stage.
Yeah.
Then, after a while, I said, okay, we get used. We can try some tricks and stuff, everything about the slides, but I'm not talking about that. But what he said, it was really eye-opening for me, because now when I'm on stage, I am Francesco is saying something. It's really me. I can just literally jump on a stage and start talking about something. And of course, you have maybe your slides, you have something prepared, you have a message that you want to give.
Yeah.
But it's me. It's me trying to communicate something to people. That's
I think that that's important to mention there too, is the stop pretending. Like, you can have a message of anything. The message can be anything. You can be talking about anything, ultimately, as long as you still are yourself. That's the main component there. Jakob, coworker of mine here, good to see you. You fell into the trap of over planning. I would love to hear a little more about that, as to what you're talking about specifically. But I want to ask Fran about how he potentially avoids over planning, or maybe he also is an over planner.
I don't know. I have so people consider me like doer, I would say. Usually, I plan still on paper. I still here. I don't know if I share some stuff, but let's say you have some stuff here. I'm a very old guy. So over planning is not bad. Over planning is not bad, but when you start, when one of your tasks becomes do this list, you should stop. You should have one layer of complexity. If one of your tasks is sometimes it happened to me. I don't know, like, okay, at 9 I will make this list. So if you do this, stop, because it means that the level of complexity of planning, it's becoming too tight. So that's my answer. If you are planning to plan, you should stop. And usually you can have categories. For example, I think now I have 4 categories. Like personal, things related to business, things related to empower myself, like things that I do. For example, this is in this category, things that I just do because I like it, for example. Another one, I forgot. It's, I don't know. I had 4 categories like of things that I want to do.
Yeah.
And usually I try to balance some of them. For example, exercising is, I think, on the personal stuff. So like taking care of myself. Family time is taking care of myself. Sure. And you can notice that if you avoid doing some of these categories, you might fall back. I stop doing, and I think one of the problems might be, I don't know, stop taking care of yourself. I don't know. I just do business stuff. You don't just do stuff, and the personal stuff is empty. You don't dedicate time to yourself. You don't dedicate time to exercise. That list shrinks. But if you, I don't know, I'm a very visual person, Jason, so I need to see things written. Otherwise, it's not clear to me.
Yeah.
It's not clear. I need to see a list of 10 things I have to do to understand how much time am I dedicating to real stuff, how much time am I dedicating to this other thing. So this helps. So, but planning is not bad. Planning is, for me, for example, when I, usually on Sunday, like, because there are some activities that I think, are like the core. I don't know, you have to record 4 hours video or any activities related to that. That's like, the meat of your day. If you're vegetarian, I don't know, the tofu of your day. It's something, sorry, it's something like that. But yeah, because you can plan even if you're a bit tired. I don't know, I found this, but I can't, for example, do like a very high energy task. So that's it. But I think we should never feel guilty. Planning is good, but it should never be. It's like, using too much frameworks to make a Hello World. It doesn't make much sense. It doesn't make much sense, but it's not necessarily bad. I think it's better to over plan rather than having zero plan, because zero plan means that you can go in an absolutely wrong direction. I want to be an actor and I'm spending my life wasting doing something else. That's like, it's the bad. If you ever plan, you spent too much time thinking the things to do, but I think the problem is not the over planning. The problem is that you are procrastinating. You don't really want to do that thing. So that's, I think, the real problem. You are faking that you are planning, but it's the real, it's like, I were planning because you don't want to do the thing. I plan to record a technical video and I want to make it perfect, way too hard. So I still have nothing. Look, a whole campaign to show that Hello World example. Yeah, and for hard tasks, my strategy, especially for videos, is to just break it down. It's to just divide these into smaller tasks. Record the first part, record the second part, edit the first part. Because if I see more tasks, I don't know why I can execute better. Because when we see a single big task, it's scary. See, I don't want to start because otherwise I will be here for the whole day. It's just a mental trick. If you break it down into 10 tasks, say, okay, you know what, I'll just do this for now. And probably if you are like me, you will end up doing more than what you planned. So yeah, you can fake me. Yeah, sorry, you can fake me because I've used all the excuses and stuff. So even for make videos, and I just smell them. It's even on the internet.
I think sometimes over planning does lead to procrastination because, like, planning feels like work. You feel like you're moving forward, but you continue to plan and continue to plan. You aren't really moving the needle. I think I definitely find myself in that position sometimes. And I think sometimes you just need to record. I think sometimes that is the plan. You want to record a video. So just start recording something and go from there. Let it evolve into what it ends up being. Because you can definitely overplan for sure. And then you don't get anything done. Or you're procrastinating.
Yeah, but I think that if we are brutal with ourselves, we know. At the end of the day, when we go to bed, we know if we did a good job or not. So if you are planning, like, I like to treat life, like if it was a volleyball match. If I go to bed, I say, okay, I did a good job. I'm a good judge of myself. I'm sometimes a bit too hard. But let's say if I'm doing well, I know. So you will feel it. So if you say, I spent the whole day planning to do something and I didn't did a couple of things, it's fine. Because, some people, including me, we tend a bit to overestimate what we can do in a single day. Because, I say, okay, maybe I want to do these things. It happens. When this happens, a couple of tasks that were not urgent, I'll just move them to the next day. So that's the thing. So that's... life should be simple, Jason. It's not, but it should be.
It really should be. I agree. It's funny to me. I think just reflecting on like generations of humans and how we process tasks today, like we have these conversations. 100 years ago, the only tasks that people set out to do were the ones that kept them alive every day. It was like 3 things: don't get eaten, eat something, stay warm. That was pretty much it.
Yeah. And I remember, but like, I don't have to go 100 years ago. I think the father of my grandmother, I think, for example, they had, I think that on Thursday, they did laundry. Thursday laundry. I love that because, thinking to dedicate a whole day just to go with other people to do this laundry. Now it's something changed. I think we can still do laundry while we run the agents, of course. So that's
there you go. Get your agents going.
I do that every day. But life gets more complicated, it seems. What are we doing, Jason? Are we doing it wrong?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, it definitely is. Ron is asking, what's the most impactful lesson that you've learned in your journey, and how did it change your mindset? It's a good question, Ron.
Change your mindset. Let me think. Probably is the changing the mindset to be a content creator. I will do a quick story. I'll be quick, Jason, I promise.
You're good.
So before stepping into tech, I was a volleyball coach. So I was working in a gym. Everybody was screaming and shouting and screaming at me that they wanted to do something. Now think 3 years later, me in an office with everyone silent and people clicking on keyboard. So that was quite shocking in terms of job experience, I would say. The gym probably was better. And So I really felt sad. I say like maybe I will not be a teacher anymore, and this has been something that I've been feeling for 2 years. Because you can be a developer even without being a teacher, without teaching anyone. But maybe because of both of my parents are teachers, I've been teaching my whole life.
Yeah.
I felt that something was missing. So when I shared my first article in February 2020, and literally nobody couldn't care less about that article in February 2020, I started to feel better. I felt that I could teach again through articles, not even videos. My first video is August 2020. So probably the lesson that I learned is that if you do, now I will go into the cliche. If you do what you like, you will be successful in life. And it really worked well for me because I decided, okay, this makes me feel good. Doing this article that nobody read makes me feel good. Let's make one more. Let's make one more. Let's make one more. And then I need like 50. Let's start making videos. Let's start posting pictures of myself in group chats. I want to just let you understand how introvert and shy I was. I had to train myself to show my face. It's not that obvious. So probably the most impactful lesson is to work a bit every day to go in the direction you want to go. And now here is I'm going in it, and now I'm happy. Now everybody say that I am a natural talent, not natural talent. So, and how did I change your mindset day by day? You don't change. It's very rare unless something really strange happens in your life. Usually, we don't change our life in a day. That's a lie. We change
Yeah.
a bit every day. We can, people who are switching careers, they code a bit every day. That's that's the thing. I think like you did, for example.
Yeah.
So a bit every day. It's the same tactic of the over planning. Trying to divide these things and do a bit every day, a bit every hour. So that's it. And this is what changed my mindset, my approach to life, and basically everything. And now maybe you see now this final Italian product. But that's it. In the process of that right now. Best of luck,
Yeah.
Aidan.
Good luck, Aiden.
McAllister.
Yeah, that's
Like the Home Alone. No? Yeah.
oh yeah, it's Kevin McAllister's like nephew or something. Um yeah, each day, I mean if we look at it really pragmatically, it's like obviously you're not going to hit the mark every day. And I think it's important to understand that like you're going to have good days that move the needle forward and then you might have a day where you don't have as much progress. That's okay as long as you acknowledge that. You don't want to like fall into that rut and just sort of downward spiral either. And the same could be said about content. You could have a video that doesn't have as many views or isn't as successful, but does it mean stop completely or like hit that spiral? No, because look at your story about writing. Like you wrote and it didn't do as well as you thought it was going to, but then you wrote again and again and again, and it kept going. And despite like those, maybe the engagement initially that you didn't get, you kept doing it and finally you did achieve because you didn't like let it just spiral and kind of shoot you down. So I think that's really inspiring, especially from a creator position. So well done.
I think we all, I really think that we all inspire each other because we all have something special to do. For example, I want to go back to doing long live streams. I haven't done in a while. It's crazy. I did like 12 hours live stream for a whole year.
Yeah.
And I didn't have the standing desk. So all them by sitting and I suffered a bit.
Oh wow.
Now that I have a standing desk, it should be easier to make a long
Yeah,
live
it
stream
should
because I
be.
can switch. So I'm planning. I need to find a day when I can dedicate it to it. So yeah,
You
you
were
inspire
doing
me.
them you were doing them Saturday mornings.
But that's just 6 hours. It's not long.
Just 6 hours. That's like almost a full work day.
You should
Just
see
6
me
hours.
like playing games in 2010.
Yeah. Maybe that's what your content should be for those streams is kind of break it up a little bit, like little bit of work, little bit of play, little bit of just interaction with the chat, and I think that that would be fun. I mean, I used to Jack would have an event that I would have to take him to Saturday mornings, so I was always listening because I'd be sitting waiting for him to get done. And you were always there. You were always on YouTube. You got to bring it out of retirement
Yeah.
for
Yes.
sure. Okay, now I want to ask you if I was to, because this is I have my one-on-one with my manager this afternoon, and one thing that we had talked about last week again was just kind of identifying like what my brand is. And if you were to just be asked what would like what do you think of a brand for me? Like when you see or hear me, what comes to mind to you?
Interesting. You do many things. I think I think about you for two big things, maybe three. I think the first one is to engage a lot with the community. So you're a
Mhm.
very engaging person, something that I really like because some people just they don't engage, they just
Yeah.
don't care. So most of the people.
Yeah.
So you seem like a person who cares, which is a great plus. Like it takes energy, to engage also
Yeah.
with others. So that's one thing. Very handsome, but that doesn't matter. And what else? I think the way you uh, switched career, I liked that because
Mm.
I'm also a career switcher, so I
Yeah.
empathize with that. You learning from your old self, and then how you got into to tech, and now you're also in the DevRel, you're second or third, I don't know, experience in DevRel. So it means that
Yeah.
also your career has changed in some ways. I think you
Yeah.
are great fit for as a developer advocate. What else? That's I think most of it. I like the as I mentioned the hyper long or super long I don't know live streams. You did them also on your board. The
Oh yeah. Yeah.
the um, the one we did with all the crazy people. When I shown
Oh,
my hand.
yeah.
By the way, Jason, I have an update. You remember that as a word news, I updated that I burned my hand.
Yeah. Yeah.
I went to the doctor since September, and now it looks better.
Oh,
You see,
wow. Yeah.
it looks
That's
better.
awesome.
So I have an update on this thing. So I wanted to share that. I wanted to let
That
people know that
is.
I feel better.
That
I
is
did
good.
some medical treatment, and I don't know. It's strange because, for example, something that I share just with you. So it's
Yeah.
very rare that I share, something so personal.
Sure.
It was nobody knows probably about this except the people who joined
Yeah.
your
Yeah.
live events. So that's
That
it. So
that's cool though,
very.
because something like that, a lot of people didn't know, and most people when they experience something like that, like it affects them internally, mentally, like how you
Mhm.
approach things, like self-conscious wise and stuff like that. So to be able to move forward with something that helps you kind of improve your esteem even, um
Mhm.
like you see it in everything, just the way you carry
Yeah.
yourself and the way you interact. So that's great, man.
Yes. That's. I think that's it. So we also coded sometime. We did like the vibe coding session.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah. Oh yeah, we've
That's
done
it.
a ton of streams. I was just thinking because this goes back to streaming and running. Um, I want to try to find a couple companies to sponsor me for the 50K because I'm going to try to stream the whole thing.
Love it. I love
So
it.
that should be interesting.
I love it. You need to
Yeah,
find a way to. You need to find a way, but
yeah, I'm
Je-
gonna get zero ops.
Jason Randev, Jason Randev. I don't know, something like that.
There you go.
You can make
Um,
them one word.
Ron said, authentic, genuine, kind. He embodies what community is about. Thank you, Ron. That means a lot. I think ultimately that's always what I wanted my brand to be was it's like what you see is what you get. Like I try to be just authentic, me in everything I'm doing, but I feel like, and maybe you can speak to this too, because you are a public facing person also for companies. So, how do you balance the line between stuff that corporate or the org wants and still maintain your brand in it?
That's easy. I just join companies that are already aligned with what I do. Otherwise, bye. So that's so, because some people say, like, how do you balance this if you're also how do you do this? But or for example, like, how do you stay authentic with a company if you join them as a DevRel?
Yeah.
I joined them as a DevRel because I like what they do and their product, and here I am. And when I got this offer for the current developer position, I said, hey, this is the list of the conferences I got invited to in 2026. Are we good? Yes. Okay. So then I joined. Otherwise, I would have said no, because if I am a man of word, I would not have said no. I stopped going to conferences. So always ask before. Always do that. And if you are aligned with the things and stuff, then you do it. So that's the thing. If I like to be transparent from day zero with companies. I think that's the best strategy, because working for a company is not a joke. It means that you will dedicate time, your face, if you are a developer advocate. It takes time to understand. Not time, but let's say it's a decision. And if you work for a company, probably you will not work for another company the next 2 months. So you need to understand if it's worth it. I will be very picky in the developer relation meeting. So how do I balance? I join companies that let me balance. So that's probably a nice strategy. And whenever there is an opportunity to mention the company during my live events, it's not really a problem. So that's the thing. So
that's a good call. I think for me it's very similar. Through the whole interview process at JetBrains, again, I was approached for the role because of who I am online. Who I am as the person is the person that I'm online. So they were interested in me as myself, which definitely helped. And to be totally transparent, that was not something that I felt I was going to be afforded at like PayPal, which was another reason that I didn't take that role, because it's just too much corporate. So
no, I think I also made a tweet about this comment. Is it funny that sometimes we have 0 and then 3 and then 4? It's like a Twitter space. Either we have zero people who request to speak, or 10.
Yeah,
there is nothing in the middle. It's, I don't know why, but this is it's funny, because I remember that you were looking for a role. Couldn't they just sync and maybe come with different offers like in this span of years? No, in the same day.
It's crazy how that works. But I loved your point, and I think that ultimately that comes down to a lot of established branding that you've already done for yourself. Like, that brand is what they were interested in allowing you to do. They didn't want you to change because you've spent a long time like cultivating that brand already. And then the companies want that in you as that person, not, to then like be molded into what they want. So I think that's awesome. I'm still trying to figure out, how to effectively use my brand in the content that I'm creating as well. And I think that's another thing too, is like trying to bring my authentic self into the content, but also still make it interesting. Like, how do you kind of balance that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is an answer that only you can give. When I am a bit stuck, I have basically 2 strategies.
Mm-hmm.
So one is to just visually, write the things, and I think you're in a good position, because if you just use your IDE, having to do with an IDE is amazing.
Yeah.
So this is why I like JetBrains, because it allows you, to build whatever you want. And the other one is this is always worked in my life, double down on what already worked. You go, you check your best live stream that you did, your best video that you made, and you did, of course, not the exact same words, but you do a similar thing. You did a live stream, when you built a full stack application, talking with the chat, a long live event, it went well 2 years ago, same format, same thing. This is what I did. For example, I think that I think almost nobody knows this, but that I failed learning Rust in 2022.
I
In
did not
2022,
know that.
I know this, and let me share this painful thing. In 2022, I started sharing videos about Rust. But then I got so stuck with conferences and stuff and things, and I stopped making videos for like some months. Then I basically, got full of things and events and stuff. So I stopped for like 4 months. But the people really liked that series. So I stopped. It's called Rust from Zero. Right? And that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Then at the end of 2023, or it was 2023, I can't remember, I said, okay, next year I really want to crush it. So I think on January 2024, I started pushing from week 1, and I did 1 Rust live stream for a whole year and a half, something like that. Because I already know that format was good. And so I basically did something that already worked. And I also, let's say even the first 2-3 videos, they were similar. They were the same. And it worked because the people already liked that thing. And of course, most of the people don't even know that happened. So doing something, for example, I did the Rust CRUD API videos.
I remember.
In 2022, I was struggling with content ideas. So you know what I did? I went on YouTube. I put, okay, let's see which is the best live stream that I did. A live stream of me creating CRUD API with JavaScript, Postgres, Docker. Okay, I did the same exact video, building it live, and it went super well. Same exact, similar project, maybe even the same project, maybe explained better. But it worked. So that's. I don't know if now with AI, absolutely disrupted what it meant a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
But for me, for example, it worked. So something that worked in the past might work again, or at least it will not be a total flop. I want to be optimistic.
Yeah.
By the way, I have a live stream in 32 minutes.
Oh yeah. We hit our hours, so we can wrap up. But just to your last point, it's like sometimes you don't need to reinvent the wheel. Go back to what worked, like look at what worked and lean into that. Like just spin the same wheel. You don't need to make a new wheel, just use the wheel that works. No, that's a good call.
Yeah, and I mean, if you even try to make the same exact video, it will never be the same because you'll learn something. Maybe you did something different. Maybe this time you will fail. Maybe you failed and now you are not. So, and if this never happened, one person says, hey, but you made this video 3 years ago, I will say, thank you for watching that video 3 years ago and still be here around. I'll be super happy. If suddenly this never happened to me, but if someone says like, hey, you did this 4 years ago, amazing. I could barely remember because I remember because I have this on YouTube. Otherwise, I would not even remember.
I would be impressed if someone did that. Like that's dedication.
Never happened.
So
not once.
Yeah. Wow. What is your live stream that you're doing today?
What about?
Yeah. What's your topic?
So I'm inviting another Rust guy. He's a crazy guy, but I like him. He's a maintainer of a project called Ratat UI. So he does basically terminal user interfaces in Rust. So beautiful terminal interfaces. I think we want to build something like accessing to a website, so consuming APIs with a UI in a terminal. A bit crazy project.
Yeah.
Also, today is the birthday of Rust. Rust is 11 years. Rust today is 11 years old, and we keep saying that Rust is a new language. Like my house is 11 years old, and I'm still calling like my new house. I don't know for how many years I can still say that. So, is it Rust a new programming language? maybe for a couple more years. Then I'll really stop saying that this is
Yeah,
new.
well, I
We will
wonder
have
what the
newer languages.
I
So.
wonder what the cutoff is for a language to still be new. I would say 10 years. I would
Okay,
say
so Rust is not new anymore.
officially
Rust
not
is
new.
getting old.
Yeah,
Old and boring, and I loved it. I love this.
you love every
I will
minute
wait
of it.
for the day I have to stop saying that you should learn Rust. Just do it or whatever.
I mean,
but I'm almost stopped because now I don't need anymore. We already have enough example and things. So
there you go. All right, I've dropped your Twitter there, everybody. That I'm sure everybody already follows you that is listening to me. But thanks for hanging out. I look forward to seeing you in a couple weeks. You're muted.
Thank you so much, Jeff. I don't know why I was. Oh, I was not muted. I muted this. I don't know how. So yeah, thank you so much. I will try to hop on the live stream in the chat when I can. I think we also stream quite late, so people who stream at this point, I might hop on them.
I will start being more mindful of, because especially now with my company being in Europe, like it's late there, so I do have to start facilitating earlier streams so people can hang out.
Earlier for you, but it's not.
Yeah, earlier for me. That's right. All right, man. It was great seeing you. Everybody in the chat.
Thank you so much for having
we'll
me.
See everybody soon. Absolutely. We'll
Follow
see you in a
Francesco,
couple
but who are you, Jason? Amelia.
Goodbye, Amelia. Bye, guys. See you, Jakob. All right, bye, everybody.